You've been listening to the podcast, The New Author, Uncle Meshorn, I'm Not Your Black, from Louisville, Kentucky. This conversation, the family. You're my family.
Go ahead, Goldie, and
Yeah.
uh, and drop what you got to say about it.
You seen the movie Django?
You know what? I said that I wasn't gonna watch that movie.
You ever seen it?
No.
With Jamie Foxx had this nice velvet coat on, suit coat, with this big
Mm-hmm.
ruffly shirt, and he rode into the plantation, you know, with this outfit on. And then
Mm-hmm.
at some point he got off the horse with a whip and whooped the crap
Mm-hmm.
out of the slave driver. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
Dion reminds me. He rode into college basketball, you know, with his own style, and then
Mm-hmm.
he took his whip out and he whooped the mess out of the establishment. And they can't stand it. They can't
Mm-hmm.
stand it. And they wanted Dion to come in and play the way they say play, talk the way they say talk,
Mm-hmm.
treat the players the way they say treat the players. Where Dion comes in with his swag, Dion has always been like this. If you look back at when he was in high school and when he was in college, Dion will come in with his swag. He's got his sunglasses on during press conferences, got his hat cocked over to the side. He knows how to talk.
Right.
He knows how to keep these kids coached. 98% of these college football coaches are older white men that have no clue how to speak to these kids the way Dion do. And it's making them nervous. It's making them nervous because where do you think these kids want to go and going to want to play for if Colorado keep winning? They want to go play for Dion.
Yeah.
And Dion, not only is he making them good football players, he's making them good men. He wants them to
Yeah,
be
now
good men.
tell that story. When off the air you said something, Goldie. That's why I thought I wanted to have you.
When Dion was at Jackson State, he finds out who has children on his football team. And he brings the boys in and he counsels them on being good fathers to their children and makes sure that they're being good fathers to their children. He said he's building men and he invests in these young men where, they don't know how to handle somebody like Dion. He doesn't get in front of the camera at the press conference and be all polite and just like when the reporters, they were talking bad about him. And Dion reminded them on national TV, and when he asked the one guy, he said, "Do you believe now?" And the guy,
Wow.
he said, "Do you believe now?" And
Wow.
the guy kind of brushed him off, said he said something else. Dion looked at him, he said, "Next question," went to somebody else. He's like, "You don't believe. You still don't believe." Yeah, he's who he is. And they don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like it. And they want to get that Negro. They want to.
So that ties right into the reason why I wanted to have this conversation, man, because the times are changing, man, and it ties into I'm Not Your Black America. Our demographics of men are not playing like it was all those who were born before 1960. All of us born after 1960 and everything, we just see things differently. I mean, we just coming at it differently and everything. I was explaining to someone that I just said, I don't know if you see the email I sent out, Leonard. Go that you're not on. I don't have your email. Go. You need to text me your email and everything. I want to send you something. But Leonard, did you see the email I sent talking about I had an epiphany?
No, I didn't see it. I've not looked at my email.
Well, the epiphany ties into what Deion Sanders is doing, but not just Deion Sanders, but a lot of us are coming into our own. My epiphany when I was working in the operating room, man, and I'm sitting up, and it was after I read, Noah Shelton book, I'm Not Your America's Little Black Book, when he was talking about I'm not, we're not black, we're not Negroes, we're not African Americans. And Leonard, as I was in the operating room, the epiphany came to me. Someone said something crazy to me. Somebody said something crazy to me, and I responded right back to him like, who I am. And what I realized, there was no mob coming to get me. There was not going to be no mob coming at my house. What I realized, I didn't need my mama to come and defend me. What I realized, I didn't need my wife to come defend me. Hey, I didn't need no black woman to come defend me. I was able to speak my truth and speak it the way that I wanted to say it with no consideration of any repercussion was about to happen like all those born before 1960. Do y'all follow what I'm saying? That's why I really like the story about Deion Sanders, what he's doing. See, everybody thought that he should have been just a good Negro, okay? Stay and help Jackson State, okay? Stay in your place, dude. Help them, okay? Because they need help. But he didn't do that. He went after was something that he thought he needed to do because you know why? Because we can now. We can. Why should he have stayed in an area when he knew he could advance himself? Y'all follow me, Leonard? You see where I'm going with this? I think these are the times when I say I'm not your black America. I am not the usual. I'm not what you were used to. I'm not that same ideology point of view. I just want to be a good Negro and don't want to cause no problem. Nah, I want to cause all type of problems. Okay, I want to stir up all type of stuff. Okay, and do it with a sense of dignity. Leonard. Someone saw my interview. Neither one of y'all seen my interview with Don G on Wave 3? Have y'all seen that yet?
Not yet, no.
Yeah. Well, Don G is a local out of Wave 3 here in Louisville, Kentucky. And the interview that I did, I'm just being Meshorn. I mean, I thought I was just being Meshorn. But she asked me a question. And being I have already dealt with her before, and I know her personality, when she asked me the question, I spoke and said what I said. And at the end of that conversation and everything, when it went off the air, Don G said to me, Goldie, she said, Meshorn, you spoke so well. You said it so, I mean, you, and, it was like she was shocked.
What was she expecting you to sound like?
I mean, I said it to a couple of my other friends who know. But see, there's a little history. I mean, there's something about it. The Don G that you see on TV and Don G that you see off the air. All I'm gonna say, they had to say. Okay. So I got to see the Don G off air, and when that camera, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bam! She turned into a whole new person.
Well, hey, why do you think she has to? That's why she's in that position that she's in. She has to be able to speak white folk with the camera running, and then when the camera ain't running, she speaks Negro.
What you said when we got off the air, because there was an incident that took place. I don't care. It was an incident that took place. She went back to her Negro, and she was talking all good and crazy with bad information. And then I had to check her. Wait a minute. I had to check her, but she went, hey, Leonard, you know me enough. I see the smile. I gave. I'm like, you hold on. You need to reel it back in, sister girl. You need to reel it back in.
There's actually a term for that. It's called code switching. That's what
Yeah.
she was doing. She was code switching. Back in the day, if you old enough and you remember, back in the day when your parents would answer the phone when like the light bill person or whoever,
Oh,
they had to put the white business voice on. Now they talk to their friends one way, but then you put the white business voice. Hello, yes, this is Mr. Walker. Yes,
code
you see,
switch.
so so that you had to code switch because you had to put your business voice on. So
Code
that's
switching. You know,
yeah.
I
So
actually know what you're talking about. Code switching.
Hey,
yeah.
Goldie,
you
See,
know what,
so
we
son?
all have tried. Hey, go, come on, go. You done code switch. Come on, go. You know
Hey,
you
hold
have.
on.
You know.
I just started made me think about something. When I was married, we'd be riding down the highway, and my ex-wife could have just got done cussing me out about something. Her phone will ring, and she'll turn into a white woman from Great Britain, and I'm down. I'm just looking like, who is this? She can go from Shanae to Sally Jennings in no time.
But you know,
code switch.
hey, they talk. That's what we have to do sometimes. As you know, we got to be a chameleon. You know, shoot. Think about our elders who came before us and everything. How they had to shine in front of Miss Master. Okay, just to get things done. You know what I'm talking about? You know,
Well, yeah.
shucking
I
and
mean,
jiving.
we got a history of code switching. I mean, you'd
Well,
have to
we have
code
to
switch.
survive. You have to
Yeah.
survive.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. You know, I mean, most of us code switch now when I mean, once you get older, that's like me now. I don't code switch. What you see is what you get. Right.
Yeah, I
I,
don't. I don't. But
the
I
way
do
I
know what you're
talk
talking
is
about. Yeah.
yeah, the way I talk is the way I talk. That's just like, but before, you most of the time you're gonna code switch is talking to the police. The police pull you over, you get ready to code switch. Officer, um, um, do you know why I'm pulling you over? No, officer, I have no idea. Yeah, see, so with me,
But you know what?
with
But see, some of the young dudes don't know nothing about that code switching. See, that's their damn problem. Okay, some
yeah,
of them get themselves in trouble because they don't know how to code switch. They think it's being a sellout. They think you being some suck up or some sambo. But all you trying to do is get home. All right,
trying
you
to
all
make it
thing
to
you
the
trying to
yeah,
do. Yeah, you just trying to get home without the drama and everything, right? So
right.
I'm glad that you actually. I ain't heard that terminology in a long time. Code switching. Yeah, I hope my producer. We're gonna have to talk about code switching because see, a lot of us have code switched to get things done, but a lot of us today need the code switch to get our ass home instead of trying to act all stupid and ignorant and having it. Come on, Gold. You know what I'm talking about? Because we
yeah,
got some
yeah.
dumb, stupid,
You
ignorant
see it
crap
on
going
see
on.
it on the internet every day. Brothers want to keep it
Right.
real with the police, but now these hardcore, they code switch as soon as they get in court. As soon as they get in front of that man with that black robe on, they code switch. You know, yeah. When they know he's about to hand down that sentence, they get real spiritual, get to writing poems and singing the hymnals in the courtroom. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Or the interrogation room when they like, hey, look, you gonna go down for a murder. They get code switch real quick and sound like Luther Vandross and get to singing. So yeah, everybody does it. Hey Leonard, when the mayor comes around, Meshorn code switches. Oh my God.
Hey,
No, but
not
I
this
think
current man. Oh no, you got me twisted. Maybe
I,
Mayor Okay, maybe
I think
Bearfish. Because my wife, I actually you got that one because my wife, because Jackie, she saw me one time. The mayor, she knows me and Mayor Fisher. I didn't like Mayor Fisher. I mean, and I used to give him a hard time and everything. So one time we was out, and she saw the mayor come up to me, and I was talking to him and everything. And after the mayor left, she said, "Now, what was that?" I said, "What do you mean?" She said, I just saw you talk about him like you talk about him in such a crazy way, but you were so nice. That say that was code switching.
mm. But see, yeah, the young guys now they code switch in reverse. Okay, what they do is the police come around, they get hard. Now they be like, now you become a lawyer, you become, I know my rights, I know this, I know that, I
Oh
know
yeah,
so and
yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah.
See,
Don't know nothing.
what the whole thing is just like I tell these young guys, and listen, you get stopped by the police, all right, driving, if you speed it. if you are speeding. If you've been speeding, okay, um, then like I said, or you've done some sort of traffic, illegal traffic maneuver, right? You do not have to admit to anything, okay? But one of the things that police are trying to find out is if you're trying to be deceptive, right?
Right.
So this is when, the whole point of getting stopped is how quickly can I make this encounter go away, right? How fast can I make this over with? Because I don't know if this guy's nervous or afraid or if this is his first time. He could be a new officer, and you be afraid of black people, or so like I said, it's I want this encounter to go smooth and quickly as possible. So don't do a whole lot of talking. Answer the question. Be compliant. Take your ticket. Fight it in court. Get you a lawyer. That sort of thing. Or just don't speed, or don't do things to get yourself. Like I said, my wife got a lead foot, and she don't ever get caught. My luck, I'll get caught. So like I said, I don't I don't mess around too much. I don't speed. I don't do a bunch of different stuff, in traffic. Now I did come home one day and they were doing a traffic stop, a license check in front of my house, right in front of my house. And I also pulled up to me. I showed them my license. I said, "You see the address on here? Now get all of these people from out of my driveway and in front of my house so I can get home." He just started laughing because I was right. This is my house, and you in front of it. See, so
Hey,
yeah,
Hey, you do know that those license checks like that, they're not constitutional.
right,
You
right.
don't have to show your license. Basically, what they're saying is, let me see your papers.
Yeah, let me
see,
see
right,
your papers.
Let me see your papers.
right.
They have to have a reasonable suspicion that you are committing a crime or about to commit a crime. But you know,
Right, right. Now I've not seen too many of them before. I mean, lately here, I don't know
Right.
if if because they don't have enough resources or what the deal is, but I've not seen. It's been a couple of years since I've
Yeah,
seen
I don't.
a traffic stop. Yeah,
I don't see him now. We do have this nuisance guy, and I cul-de-sac and everything. That this cop, he sits on the side, and there's a stop sign, and everybody supposed to stop. Okay, but everybody do the move and stop. Okay,
California.
yeah, yeah. And every time they someone do it, he pulls him over and give him a ticket. I mean, I like, dude. I mean, he in here early in the morning. I mean, you can hear the segment, dude. Go somewhere else. What you doing, man?
hey,
And
you know
of
what he's
course,
doing? He's getting his quota
that's
first
what I.
thing in the
Yes,
morning.
yes,
First thing in the
yes.
morning, get his
First
quota,
thing in the
and
morning, he
now
getting his
now
quarter.
he can go out. Now he can go out somewhere where ain't a whole lot of traffic and get chilled for the rest of the day
Yeah,
until he gets
yeah,
called
yeah,
or drive around.
yeah. Hey,
See,
and let me so before I move into this other area here. So he caught me. He caught the last time it's two times. Well, he actually caught me three times. So yeah, he caught me three times. The first time he got me, we was doing COVID and no court was going on, and they throw it out. I mean, they throw it out. They wouldn't have no court tonight, so that one went away. The second time he got me, I just went in. I didn't even fuss with him. The third time he got me, man, I was pissed, dude, because I was hot, bro. But the bro, and he's a brother too. Walked over there, and you know what? You gave me the terminology. I code. Now listen, I just went ahead and chilled him. I said, I just went ahead. All right, and I didn't argue with him and nothing. And he said, I said, go ahead, give me right the ticket, man. Just go ahead. I said, I'm not even going. I ain't even go through it. I'm not even gonna go through it with you. Hey, listen up. I'm gonna take this somewhere. Hey, Goldie, this should be this. You're gonna like this one here. Go and Leonard has already chimed in on this in another area here, but I want to read exactly what I said and everything because it has gotten multiple responses from this here. and said so. And I've been having so much fun with it and everything. So here it is. Here you go. Here you go. Black women, the most privileged women in America, having a status as queen, a game of chess, but they haven't made or demonstrated the best chess move for their king in America. So uh that has stirred up some conversation, bro. Let me say it to you. I've said black women are the most privileged in America compared to all other women.
Mm.
And their privileged status, they have not used it properly to know how to best make good moves for their kings here in America. All right. Who want to take it? Who want to go
Hey, you be better off talking about homosexuals than black women. You can't say nothing about a black woman. You can't talk about their bad behavior. You can't say nothing about a black
there?
woman.
You went right there, Goldie. You are you can't bring up no flaws in them at all. I mean,
None.
they act like they walk on nothing they do is to be chastised, called out, said anything about, and when you do it, you are made out to be something like, nah, I'm calling you out on your nonsense,
No,
okay?
they got these new words that they wasn't using 2 years ago. They call you a narcissist. They'll call you toxic. You know, you can't now they can have whole talk shows and podcasts and talk about how the black man ain't nothing, about how we ain't jack. But as soon as one person, Kevin Samuels, God rest his soul, came out and held a mirror up to black American women, they flipped their wig. He told them the truth. They didn't like it. They hated him, you know, and they would call in and ask him to rate them as men. And when he'd give them a manly rating, because men rate off what they see, we don't give a damn about his
Right.
personality. You know, how you look, how your body shape, and he tells them, "Oh,
How you behave.
you're average." They
Yeah.
get mad, and you can't say nothing about a black woman or to them. It's sickening. It
Nah.
really is.
Was it him that said, he said, you want, you know, he at one time he asked, so what is you looking for in a man? Okay. And the woman gave all this crap about what she's looking for. And he asked, you got kids? And he said, yeah. He said, he ain't like, that man you just talking about, he ain't looking at you.
Nope.
Shit.
Well,
He
I
said,
think
he ain't looking at you.
here's the thing is in normal tradition, I'm gonna say in African tradition, men critique and hold other men accountable, and women critique and hold women accountable, right?
Right.
Now men, we hold each other accountable, right? I mean, we
Right.
don't make no excuses for Pookies and Ray Rays
No,
and
no, not, no,
the
not at all.
yeah, we don't make, matter of fact, we don't associate them. I don't associate with,
With a
do rag
Pookie or Ray
wearing,
Ray, they
pants
right.
sagging,
Nah,
I don't
nah.
associate. And the thing is, I can correct them, but my correction is not going to be effective, not more effective than a woman is. If a woman
Thank
says, I don't want to be with a man with his pants sagging down, guess what? Men are going to pull their pants up because women
you.
are the gatekeepers of sex. And that's what men want. If you want to have sex with me, you're going to take a do-rag off, you're going to pull your pants up, you're going to dress accordingly. You're going to treat me well. You're going to do this. You're going to do that in order to
And
have
guess
me.
what? Men will respond all
They
day
will
long.
respond. They'll respond. A man will respond better to that than another man trying to chastise because that's going to cause a fight. So it's like, all right, you want to go off and, be thugomatic? Go ahead. All right. Then, we're just going to leave you alone. Right.
Hey,
But the problem you have with women is you got these young girls out here rapping. All right. And I see them. I ain't going to mention their name. Right. Because you see them. right? You got these young girls out here rapping, promoting this thought in horror culture, right? And nobody, okay, none of the women are correcting these young ladies. Say, hey,
Thank you.
listen, this
Hey,
is not how you're supposed to be,
Thank you,
right?
Leonard.
So
Exactly.
where are elder women that just supposed to be correcting? Now, like I said, is these young guys I'm a neighborhood dad. That means that every young man in my neighborhood that I see young enough, I'm his father. Okay.
Right.
Whether I'm his father or not. And I'm his father in the sense that, hey, young man, this is not how you're supposed to look. This is not how you're supposed to
Exactly.
carry yourself. You cannot conduct business with pajama pants on, right? Nobody will take you serious. All right. You can't do that kind of stuff.
Right.
You want to be taken seriously as a man, present yourself as a man. I'll tell any
Right.
young man that, and now I'm seeing young men wearing bonnets. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
take take that shit off in front of me. We're not having no bonnet wearing me talking about some. Well, I don't want my hair to be exposed to the elements.
well,
Dude,
Oh,
what elements? That's the type of
they
that's
raised
the
by
type of thinking. That's how women think. No, that's not how men think. Men don't care about no that it could rain, on your
right.
hair. Right? What you got? A Jerry curl or something? See,
What's wrong with
so like I said, you know,
hey,
is
Leonard,
is there's no balance there. All
have
right.
you
you?
And
heard
Right.
that's what's happening is men getting frustrated.
have you heard the
Go ahead.
song Downtown?
I've heard about it. I've not listened to it.
Well, that's one of the hottest songs on the radio right now.
Hmm.
And
What?
when it's played and there's black women around, these educated, these sorority sisters and all of that, when they play Pound Town, oh, they go nuts. They run to the dance floor. Now this song's on the radio, Meshorn, and you got two little ratchet gutter snipes. One of the part of the lyrics in this song is my coochie's pink and my butthole's brown. They say it like two or three times in the song. And black women go crazy for this song. But these same black women that don't say nothing about this filth that these little young heifers that they raised,
Right.
they'll get on podcasts and talk about how we ain't shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they more you don't see no other group of women, no Hispanic women, white women. You don't see none of them say, "Hey, I'm a strong, independent Latina woman."
You
But
never hear it. Have you ever heard it?
these black women, they'll get online and say, I ain't got time for nobody if I'm paying my own bills and I'm a strong, independent black woman. I pay my own
I
bills.
don't need a
You're an
man.
adult. You're an adult. You don't get a pat on the back for doing adult stuff. And a lot of these black women want a pat on the back for doing basic shit. I'm over these modern uh females. I ain't even call them women. It's trash out here. It is. It's sickening.
That's why
Adult females.
All they bring is
adult
a pretty
females.
face, a fat butt, and multiple Negroes kids to the table. That's all they bring.
Right.
And I
Multiple other.
got caught up with that. And it cost me, but I learned. I learned. Cute face, round butt, and multiple baby daddies.
Mm, well,
Prove me
I
wrong.
learned also. My first wife. Before I kicked it with my first wife, I had this older woman. She was an older one. She was 13 years older than me in Germany. She was from Ohio and everything. I'm gonna say her name, Deborah Butterfield. Okay, whew. We messed around and went to Spain. Me and her went. We went to Spain, Barcelona, and she got sick. But she said, "Baby, there's no sense of us both sitting here here in the hotel and everything. You go ahead and go have a good time." Well, she might have she regretted that because, brother, I went into Barcelona. I mean, I had never been there, and listen, I messed around, didn't come back. I didn't come back to the hotel till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, dude. I mean, I was just having a good time. Now I didn't score nobody. I did nothing crazy like that, but brother, what I did do, I had a lot of drink and a lot of time to think. And the whole time I was thinking, I started realizing I'm 26. She's 13 years older than me. I turned 40. She gonna be 50. So, because I had already given her a range. I mean, I can just say to you, Goldie, I feel you because do I need to tell you she was? Did I tell you she's an older woman? And I did tell
Yeah,
you I was 26, right? Do I need to tell you why I was happy with her? I mean, I was real happy with her. I mean, she
turned
she
you
knew.
up. Yeah.
Oh, brother, she, bro. Oh my God. But going to Barcelona caused me to reevaluate that. Okay. And so when we got back to post, I dropped her off. I said, "Nah, we can't do it." And I messed around. I'm only saying that story because I messed around and and dropped her during the winter months. You've been to Germany. I've been to Germany. There's a
It's
few
cold.
things that we say in overseas. Okay, the most ugliest women, okay, overseas got a man. Y'all know that, right? Most ugliest sister. I mean, I don't care. The most ugliest sister. Woo, got a man overseas. Okay, because majority of brothers, especially over in Korea, they like it. Sisters start looking real. Sisters start looking real.
Hey, so is it kind
Yeah.
of like the end of the night phenomenon in the club? The later it gets, the prettier the sister.
Like so. My first wife, she falls in that category. She wasn't that bad, but this at this moment, I had just broke up with my girl I thought I was gonna marry, and it was the winter month. I'm just kind of trying to tell a whole story. It was the winter month. You don't go through the winter month and I had my own crib and everything. You don't go through the winter month without a winter. What you call a bed warmer.
Mm.
You
You
better
just
get
don't.
Sean. You better get canceled.
But my point is that I overlooked a whole lot of stuff to get through all that, and then I remember my partner because he also had a bed warmer. We laughed about it because he didn't marry the one that he messed around and married the woman that we both laughed at. We both divorced him. He's back in the States. Robert, I love Robert. Robert said, Misha, we both should have not married who we married. I said, yeah, bro. He said, but bro, we did what we did. But we got back to the States. We divorced him. Divorced him. But the point of that, my point is that I discovered that all she was doing is trying to get a paycheck, dude. I mean, all she wanted in me is a paycheck because I learned that I was sterile. I wasn't, I also discovered doing project. I remember the urologist came along and told me how I was sterile. I laughed because Goldie, Leonard, I remember the number of sisters that was asked. I mean, I remembered this too. Meshorn, can you have babies? How many times do you think I done jumped in it? I done jumped in a few times, right? What were they asking me, Leonard? What were
Get
they
them
trying to find out?
And they was wondering about getting a check with some benefits.
I laughed when I learned that I was sterile, man. I thought, the joke was on it. I guess I was having fun, and they was trying to get an ID card.
So you were shooting up the
I,
club and missing everybody.
huh?
You were shooting up the club and missing everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. You got that right. Hey, fellas, the reason why I'm bringing that up because more of these women know what they're doing. What many of our brothers, the young brothers, don't know what the hell going on. Many of these sisters set these guys up knowing what they're doing just so they can entrap them. And they don't want to talk about that. They don't talk about how do you have 4 different children with 4 different men, and you didn't know. Yeah, how do you do that? How do you do that, Leonard? How do you do that, Goldie? And then you gonna sit around and talk about that no good man.
Men ain't shit, but you got 4 baby daddies. That yeah.
So you know how you take care of that, right? What has to happen is the child support system has to change,
Thank you.
and the AFDC system has to change. If a man is married to a woman and he leaves his wife and kids, she needs to get child support and alimony, okay? Because they were married, they had children, he was building a family, and he broke his family up. She deserves all of that. If you was a one night stand, right, and you got with somebody and got pregnant behind that, then you might have to work that out for yourself between you and that man. The state shouldn't have anything to do with it. So it's a sliding
Brother,
scale. So guess what
a
happens? Guess if women know that they can't get, all right, child support, AFDC, all of this, guess what happens? Now you become
those
selective who you
lanes
give
get
your
tightened up, right? They
yeah,
close them up, right?
who you give your sex to. Because like I said, is women are the gatekeepers of sex. They control that, right? They control who they give sex to, not men, right? See,
Men don't
so like I
control it. That's
men
exactly right.
control men control marriage. We control who we marry, right?
That we
Women
control who we
control
marry. Exactly.
yeah, women control who they give sex to. So, like I said, but that's a good thing. If that were to happen, now all of a sudden these behaviors would change. If I'm not getting anything, and then it's hard, it's difficult. Raising a child with one parent is extremely difficult,
It's
right?
extremely hard. Now,
So,
Leonard,
so
why
mhm.
hasn't nobody thought? I mean, that seems so easy to do. Why
because this
hasn't
is a
nobody done?
because this is a plan to break the family up. I understand it cause strife and struggle among the family. You seen that video I sent you with Lyndon B. Johnson talking about
Yeah,
the intentional things that were done. That was something back in like 1968,
right.
1967. Yeah, him giving that speech about you know how
The
crucial the
destruction
family
of the
unit
family.
is. Right. So this is over 50 years ago. They're already they were talking about destroying our family structures. All right. That, like I said, is through everything that has been done to our people. All right. We've always been resilient. We've always bounced back. But this is the one thing that we're having a hard time bouncing back from is this
It
gender
is
war that we got going
major.
on.
It's a major. It's very hard to jump back to resiliently come back from a dysfunctional family that's gone 6 and 7 decades. Okay, of dysfunction. I mean, bro. I mean, I'm gonna just keep it real. I mean, I feel fortunate. I'm the oldest of my mother's child. Okay, and I've been able to turn things around and make things different for my family and everything. And I've been able to turn some things for my children, those children that I adopted, and my wife, and we live in comfortable. I feel bad for those that I think it takes. Let me see if you agree with this, Leonard. I've been thinking about these numbers here. For all you who's listening to this, I want you to understand. You need to consider these numbers I'm going to put out here. Let me see if Leonard agree with this. I believe it takes 20 to 30 years once you really understand how to improve yourself and get your life and quality together. I think you got to give yourself 20 to 30 years to really put whatever that plan is, live under your means. If you're going to be married, uh, become a homeowner, learn how to save and invest, learn how to, plan for the future, live under your means and everything. I truly believe, and I'm only talking and saying that because I think I am an example of that. I got out of the military, and got out of the military with a divorce and with a $275,000 in debt, bankruptcy. And when my wife met me, I had filed bankruptcy and everything. My credit score was under 500. I mean, brother, I was not good at all. Okay, and my wife, a man pick a wife. Okay, I picked a good wife who really came along I had making good money and everything, but I had made some bad choices and everything. So I had to build that thing up. And I will tell you, 20 to 30 years, I was able to turn that thing around by making new decisions and making new choices and everything. So, do you think 20 to 30 years is a good number to say that if you're working within that 20 to 30 years, okay, you could turn some things around and make your life better?
So
Leonard, what you
I'm
say?
gonna say this. I would say it takes 20 years if you start out blank. All right. No bad credit, no this, no that.
Right.
You start out
Okay.
blank, going to school, right? And you start out with doing the right things. You'll be make some mistakes along the way, but doing the right things. You start out, because when you start out in your 20s, you don't have a whole lot of money. You're poor. You're not
Right.
making
Right.
as much. But if you start out with the good habits first, it'll take you 20 years to get to a place to where,
You
you're pretty
sustainable.
comfortable. Yeah, you're
You're
pretty
right.
comfortable. You're secure. If you start out in the negative, meaning that you you done made some mistakes, you done filed bankruptcy,
Right.
your credit is bad, you got repossessions, you got evictions, you got all this. It'll
Right.
take you 30 years to change that around. See, so like I said, it could be
Very,
changed.
I like what you just said there. So, what do you think the first 20 years is a good contributor? Coming out of a good home that maybe your parents, you saw something, because you have to be able to have those good habits at age 20 moving forward, you got to have got them somewhere. You just don't wake up and knowing how to do that. So, you think coming out of a household, because say, I didn't come out of a household that passed on good behaviors and financially and knowing what to do. I had to learn all that once I got into the military, and so I wasted 20 years. I mean, I did 21 years in the military, and I came out. I'm fortunate, okay? I'm fortunate. The best thing happened to me that I did put 21 years in the military and everything, and then found myself a good MOS, becoming a surgical technologist. I'm fortunate that I was able to find a career after the military that was able to pay me well, that next 20 to 30 years I was able to turn some things around. So you follow what I'm saying, Leonard? See, my first
Hmm.
20 years I squandered that, bro. I mean, I listen, I jacked that thing all up. Okay. I mean, so
Right,
do
right.
you think coming out of the household with your parents, do you
And
think the
and
quality family that you come out of can improve your first 20 years? Yes or no? I mean, what you think?
definitely, if you come from a good household where there is some financial literacy, right? You definitely will have a leg up. But that's been our problem is we as a people have not been taught, all right, financial. We're just now at an age of financial literacy, just now,
Right.
where
Just
I mean, we make jokes about it, about how we pay bills late and oh, it's not due till you get the pink notice and all of this kind of stuff. And I don't have to pay my cable bill. I can go 2 months without paying my cable bill, or all
right,
that. I can
right.
go, 2 months without paying my electric bill.
Yeah, we make
Meanwhile,
jokes
that's
about
damaging your credit, right? So like I said, it's coming from a household where you have a mother and father that could, with their adult children, when their adult children run into some stuff, they can sit them down and say, listen, I'm not chastising you, but I'm gonna tell you like this, you didn't grow up that way. You've always saw me pay bills. You've always saw us do this. And I told you to do this. I told you to do that.
it. Right.
You never grew up in a house where the lights was getting cut off, or wasn't no food in the refrigerator, or we have to wonder what was
So where you
what
getting
we
that
were.
nonsense from? Yeah, right, right. So
Yeah, yeah,
you have
yeah, yeah. See, now
structure. So
if you did not grow up in that household, right, or if you grew up in a household where the lights was getting cut off, where bills was being paid late, where you don't know where Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner is coming from, but you got to rob Peter to pay Paul and sell blood for gas money and all that kind of stuff. If you did grow
then
up in that household,
your first 20 years gonna be rough. Okay,
it's going
because you
because
gotta
you're gonna be
find you're
trying.
gonna yeah.
Right, you got to try to figure it out. You're trying to figure out how this all works, how this
And
game
if you
works.
mess around and and I'm talking to men. I'm not even talking. I'm being very clear. Anybody listening to this conversation, I ain't even talking to women. I mean, I'm not talking to women at all right now. I'm specifically talking to young men. Okay, young men. If you come out of a household that you didn't have no financial literacy at all, and then you mess around and get someone pregnant, okay, oh my God. You have now put yourself in a pathway that if you haven't even learned what it is that you're trying to accomplish, you will squander 20 years of trying to figure it out. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking, and I didn't even. The thing is, I'm fortunate that I didn't. That I've been keeping 100 with you all on this line here. I'm fortunate that I don't have a lot of mama drama babies in there because I was, Leonard. I'm just keeping it real, bro. I was a hoe. I was a male hoe, dude. I mean, I was out there. I mean, I ain't even gonna lie about it, brother. I'm fortunate that God made me sterile, bro. I'm just gonna speak. I'm gonna
Well,
speak 100, okay? Because had
like
I not, if
like
I
you
had
like
not been
like you
sterile,
right like you were saying is if you can't take care of yourself,
yeah,
right? You come from a situation where you don't really understand how to take care of yourself, and you fall into the predatory traps that they have out here, and you get somebody pregnant. You can't take care of yourself, and you can't take care of a child, okay? And you're living in a separate household. So if you're not with the woman, and this is why I tell all young people, I say, listen, don't become a parent before you become a spouse, right?
Mm.
Don't do it. Because that's the easiest thing you can do right there is not become a parent before you become a spouse. And that don't mean not, having sex or being intimate. All right. That just means that, hey, listen, take some precautions. Because if you ain't ready, like I said, if this is not the person you trying to, settle down with, then don't have a baby with them. All right,
Yeah.
because now you tied to them forever, and you end up regretting and hating that person. And you living in one household, she living in another household, and y'all, you got to split. Now you taking care of another household. See, so yeah, don't put yourself in that. Although nowadays, young guys nowadays, people still do what they do, but nowadays they have more information. That's the key to what's going on now is people have more information at a younger age, even if you grew up in a household where, things weren't the best. All right. Even if you did it, you still have information out there. Now you have something to say, I may not know how to be, but I don't know how not to be. Right. I,
right,
I, I can say to myself, never will I ever have my lights cut off. Never will I ever
yeah.
be able
There's
to
certain
open a fridge.
principles. At some
Yeah,
point, you got
yeah.
to develop
Never.
some principles, man.
All right, never will I open a refrigerator and not have food in it. Okay, never will I, have my gas cut off or, have a car repossessed. These are things you say. So, what do I have to do in order to get myself in that position, right? And there's information out here now that can teach young people that if they can't get it from their parents. So, we're in the age of information now. So, a lot of these
So
kids don't have too many excuses.
So we are coming at the bottom of the hour and everything, and I want to go ahead and close out and go. I want you to give some good, learn lessons to some of the people, because we done covered a few things here, but I would definitely want to leave this one here about if we can get young males who want to become men, okay, getting out here handling you. Maybe you already done made some bad mistakes, but you can turn it around. But I will say, if you are under 40. Now, I would see if you under 50 still, you can still turn around because you got 20 years. You still got 20 years to 30 years to potentially turn it around. But if you are 50 and 60 and you still out there doing
Yeah.
some crazy, stupid stuff, hey, listen, I don't know what to tell you, okay? I really don't know what to tell you, okay? You're gonna have a rough life, okay? when you get my age, I'm 62 years old. Had I not turned some things around 30 years ago, I would not be where I'm at today. I just keep it 100. Okay. I hate to see anyone who's 60 years old and you ain't got your act together. I hate to see you 50 years old and you ain't got your act together. 40 years, you might still be able to turn it around. You might still be able to turn it around. But if you 50 and older and you still out here playing those little boy games and crazy, ain't got your credit score jacked up, you ain't got no home, you out here going from woman to woman and whoop wop wop, you still in that game? Look here. You can go ahead and just box it up and say you done. Yeah, hey, because you gonna be on the you gonna be a government assistance or and as a man, you listen. So anyway, so here's my one advice to young fellas: don't tap what you can't manage. If you can't if you don't understand that, ask somebody. Don't tap what you can't manage. Goldie, go ahead, get some to it.
Young men, there's a group of philosophers out there called BBD from the early 90s, R&B singing group. They gave the best advice that I didn't listen to. Never trust a big butt and a smile.
And that's it.
Never
Right.
trust a big butt
That
and smile. It cost me about $500,000 in child support. Hey,
All right, yeah. What's yours?
young men, always be prepared. When you leave your house, always be prepared to handle business. You can't handle business with a bonnet on your head, a do-rag on your head, with your drawers showing because your pants are pulled down, with pajama pants and house shoes on out in public. Okay. You can't handle business like
A
that
grill.
because nobody's going to take you seriously. People are going to think less of you. And it doesn't matter what people think, but appearances mean something and first impressions mean something. If you somebody that, and this doesn't mean you got to wear a three-piece suit, shirt and
Right,
tie and all that. What it
right.
means is however you wear your clothes, let them be appropriate. If you're playing basketball, shorts and a t-shirt and some sneakers is appropriate, right? If you go into the store, some jeans and a t-shirt, with some sneakers on. This is appropriate wear, right? Because people can come up to you and ask you, you got like I said, do-rags on, bonnets on. This is sleepwear. Whenever I see people wearing sleepwear outside or got their pants down, all right, outside, and that means that unconsciously you're comatose, all right? You're not prepared to do anything. Your brain is not engaged, and this is how people would think of you. So, like I said, appearances mean everything. You want to have dreads, you can have dreads, but as a man, show your crown. Let the enemy see who's defeating them. Don't hide behind a do-rag or this, that, and the other, everything. Let the enemy see your face and your hair and say, I'm the one who's beating your ass. All right. Look at me. Look at the person who did. And
That's right.
that's how man has to think. So that's what I gotta say.
And I and I'm going to say this as from military mentality. Don't make yourself a target that they've already identified they can eliminate before you even get there. See, you when you present yourself in a manner and you go out there and if you look like a target that they can already know how to eliminate, you are eliminated before you even get to your destination. They've already canceled you. Hey, go. I know you want to add to that. You've already canceled. Okay, you don't even have a comment. By the time you get up on someone, by the time you get to that, you don't even have a conversation with anybody who thinking you may have something to say because you already look like a target that someone said, "Look at here, that you don't have no conversation for me."
yeah, I was gonna buy my son a car when he was 16. He's from
Right.
Danville, Kentucky, small town. I was gonna buy him a
Mm.
little Honda, something like that. That wasn't good enough. He wanted a box Chevy with some 24-inch rims. I said, I told him I'm not gonna make you a target. That's what I told him. You know, black man in an old box Chevy with some 24-inch rims. I said, no, it's not gonna happen because they're gonna mess with you.
You told him right. You told
Yeah,
him right.
yeah,
You told him right. I'm
yep,
not gonna make you a target. Okay, you
yep,
already making yourself a target of someone that someone already saying before you even get there. You know what we say in the military, bro. If you can identify the target before you get there, do you need to deal with it before you can wipe it out?
yep. And
You can eliminate it.
we're getting
We
wiped
getting
out.
wiped out before we even. A lot of us don't even realize we getting wiped out before we even open our mouth.
Yep,
Before you even present yourself, you have already been canceled. You already been yeah, eliminated for even getting at the table. A lot of us don't even realize. I was talking to someone, and by the time Leonard, I was I was on Facebook talking to someone, yeah, and by his conversation, I realized. You know what I said to him? I said by his conversation, I said, "Listen up, dude. I realize now after things you just said, we ain't not even fishing in the same waters, dude. We're not even putting the same things on the bait. Matter of fact, I'm fishing in deep waters and you don't even know what that. Matter of fact, matter of fact, I'm sitting at tables that you don't even know how to get to. Okay? So we can cancel any more conversation here because bro, I can already tell that you don't even know how to get to the table. That's the majority of our problem. We don't even know how to get to the table. There's a seat for all of us to try to. But if you don't even know how to get to the table, you don't even know how to sit at the table because you haven't learned how to fish. You haven't learned how to put some bait, how to put the right bait on the hook. You don't even know how to throw it out there in the waters and everything. So many of us want to fish in shallow waters and everything that you don't know anything about no deep. Hey, Leonard, you're a fisherman, right? You know what I'm talking about. You know, you got to know how to. You got to put the right bait on the hook, but you first got to know what you're fishing for, right?
Yeah, you got young people out here or people out here fishing in kiddie pools. They fishing in the kiddie pool instead of trying to go out to the lake or the water. Because, like I said, the deeper the water, the bigger the prize. So, like I said, and if you take that risk and have that patience and use the right things, you got to know what you're doing. So to be able to do that. And we use the analogy of fishing to basically get what you got to get in life, right? To get what you got to get in life, you got to have take chances. Now, what I'm gonna say is we live in a free society where we're free to do anything. If you want to go and dress in a Batman outfit and go outside and wear that, that's fine. Okay, you're free to do so. Okay, but choose decency. Okay, choose to be on code. Right, you're free to choose, make these choices. Make these choices. Say, you know what? I'm gonna be on code. I'm gonna present myself in a way to where people know that I mean business. Okay, I'm not nobody's joke or
Right.
nobody's thug or nobody's,
Nobody's.
and I'm not a clown and I'm not a criminal. Right, I'm a man. Okay, and that has to mean something.
And with that being said, Goldie, you got something to say before we close out? This has been a conversation with my
no
family.
sir.
You part of
I
the
think
family
I
and
think we've said
everything. What
enough
you want to
today.
say, Goldie?
I think we've said enough
So what?
today. Once these women get the hold of this broadcast, and you're gonna be canceled. So we done said enough.
Hey, and with that being said, I want to say to each and every one of you, we want to thank you for hanging out with us. I hope you found something out of here that you can use because this ain't about us just talking. Matter of fact, the brothers on this line here, if don't get it twisted. We all doing quite well. Okay, ain't nobody on here crying and whining about nobody. Matter of fact, you ain't heard nobody talking about the boogeyman. Okay, Mr. Charlie ain't no boogeyman over here. I don't think nothing about no white man stopping me from doing nothing. Hey, nothing. Okay? I eliminated the boogeyman conversation. Matter of fact, you know what's so beautiful about the three of us, bro? Do you realize that neither one of us said anything about the white man doing anything for us? Did you catch that? Not one of us said anything about that. You know why? Because we has eliminated the boogeyman mentality, okay? Ain't no boogeyman doing anything here and preventing us from doing anything. So that's what I want to say as you close out. This has been a grown man's show of some brothers who's comfortable in who they are, and the boogeyman don't live in our households at all. And this is a conversation. Family, welcome to the family. You've been listening to the podcast, the new author, Uncle Meshorn, I'm Not Your Black, from Louisville, Kentucky. This conversation, the family, you're my family.